Hey, what's up YouTube? Hopefully everyone's doing well and welcome to another video. This one's going to be a Blu-ray update. This one has 7 Blu-rays. I've been meaning to, I was going to buy some more Blu-rays because a good amount of them were going to be coming from Scream Factory. My intention was to get certain titles that I liked and wanting to get mainly because I have a feeling they might go out of print because I'm usually a frequent buyer on eBay and occasional seller as well too. But I noticed that a good amount of those Scream Factory Blu-rays, the price was even going a little higher than what even the Scream Factory website itself was offering in terms of price, and even a little higher than Amazon's price. So I figured I'd go ahead and get them with the help of my dad. He was able to get them for me, so that was cool of him. But eventually I'm going to have to pay him back for that. But anyways. Yeah, I figured they were a little cheaper, and I go ahead and get them before they start going up and they go out of print. Like, for example, there was one Blu-ray I want to get, the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 1978 classic with Donald Sutherland. It's gone out of print, and the cheapest price I saw for it was maybe $80, and that's not even with tax. And if I were to get cheaper than that, I had to use all my eBay bucks to lower the price significantly. But hopefully, maybe I'll find a very significant drop in price, and maybe I'll get lucky. But anyways, I'll start off with this one. I'll start off with the one that's not a Scream Factory Blu-ray. And I remember watching this from my childhood that it kind of stuck with me. I remember liking it. It's the 1988 cult classic, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And this one has a brand new 4K scan from the original camera negative. You also have newly remastered stereo, which is the 2.0 channel and 5.1 DTS stereo as well, or DTS HDMI. So you also have a new documentary dealing with the cast, I believe, and it's got a good amount of features. It's got several new features, and it ports over the previous extras from the Blu-ray. And I remember liking this film. You know, it's a particular cult classic that stuck with me in my youth. I sold the other Blu-ray because the picture quality wasn't too bad, but it's highly inferior compared to this one from what I've read. And plus, I wanted to sell it with all the other previous edition Blu-rays that I know that I can upgrade for them. So I figured I'd go ahead and get this. I'm glad I did because it's starting to go up in price too, and eventually, for all I know, it might be sold for a ridiculous price at some point too. So in the end, very glad to have this film. Remember liking it when I was young, so glad to have it. Next up here are the rest of more Scream Factory Blu-rays, and this one here I remember seeing and liking when I saw it back on TV, and that's the collector's edition of Stephen King's Silver Bullet. And I remember liking Corey Haim in the film. You had Gary Busey in there as the drunken uncle. He was a lovable but fun drunk, in a sort of way. You also had Everett McGill, who plays is the priest that who you find out later who he's revealed to be. I don't want to give it away without spoiling everything. It's also got a good amount of features. You got a new audio commentary. You also have an interview with one of the actors. I believe Everett McGill is also interviewed on here too. And you got some interview with the special effects artist. You got the typical trailer, TV spot, and still gallery. But anyway, you slice it. Glad to have it on Blu-ray. Never had it on DVD or even on an old Blu-ray if it was even on there before. But anyways, you slice it. I like the film. Very glad to have it. So next up here, this is a film that I definitely also grew up with. And Ramo Ralph for Life is a huge fan of this movie. And I can't blame it. It's a very fun movie. It's a classic. Sadly it flopped, but it would go on to have a good following. And I really enjoyed this film. It's got some good one-liners, and it's the collector's edition of a very underrated and great 1980s remake, and that's 1988 The Blob. And you also have a good amount of features. It was previously released on Blu-ray before, but I forget who released it. I think it was Twilight Time, but it was for like a limited release only, with very, very few features if there were any. This one definitely has a lot more. It has a new audio commentary with the director Chuck Russell. I believe he's also interviewed with as well. You have a few actors also interviewed as well. And you have a commentary with Shawnee Smith. I don't know if she's interviewed on this. I know Kevin Dillon wasn't, which is a shame, but But anyway, slice it. It's got a good amount of features, and it's definitely worthy of paying for it as well too. I still enjoy it to this day. It still holds up very well. Sucks that it flopped, but it gained a really good following after that. It's got good one-liners like, "I think you pissed it off," or "If it's a germ, it's the biggest son of a bitch you've ever seen." Something along those lines. Good, fun one-liners. So yeah, good visual effects and a very good Blu-ray to boot, I believe. So yeah, I believe also Rambo Ride for Life even gave a Blu-ray review for this film as well too. So feel free to check that out. But anyway, Slice It, very glad to have it. Next up is a film that's based on a Stephen King novel. Came out 30 years ago. Had very two commendable and highly dedicated actors, and that's the collector's edition of Stephen King's Misery. And this has James Caan and Kathy Bates. And in fact, Kathy Bates actually won an Academy Award for her role in this movie. I believe this is the only Stephen King film to actually win an Academy Award. So, Bates really does deliver in her performance. But I don't want to get carried away. Anyways, you have a good amount of features. You have a new 4K restoration of this film, of the original filmlets. You have a new interview with director Rob Reiner. You have an interview with a special effects makeup artist. You also have audio commentaries. You have several featurettes. I don't know if they're like from back in the day, but it's also got a good amount of trailers and basically in the end, good amount of features on here. So very very glad to have this. I've been meaning to get this for a while, but very glad to have it. And then next up, I have two Carpenter flicks that I do enjoy. Well, I've seen more of this one here, but figured I'd go ahead and grab the other one while I can. First off, this one is a very underrated Carpenter flick. I believe a lot of people consider this to be Carpenter's last good film, and that's the collector's edition of In the Mouth of Madness. And it's got a new 4K scan, a new audio commentary with director John Carpenter, producer Sandy King Carpenter. And you got, a new documentary, new interviews with actress Julie Carmen and special effects artist Greg Notario, who actually I believe also worked on the Misery film too, I believe. Yep, he worked on that as well. And you got your typical trailer and TV spots. But anyway, Slice It, glad to have this. I don't think there were any features on the previous Blu-ray. And so this film is loaded with some good special features. Solid Blu-ray all around to boot, so very glad to have it. Next up here, I have bought the other Carpenter film, Vampires. And like I said before, the rest of these Blu-rays that I'm showing off now are by Scream Factory. And I forgot to show them. Sorry about that. Here it is. It's John Carpenter's Vampires. And you got new interviews with director and composer John Carpenter, Sandy King Carpenter. I believe apparently you have some interviews with James Woods, Thomas Ian Griffin, Tim Gunny, cinematographer Gary P. Keeby, and many more. And you have the original making of featurette and a theatrical trailer, so solid features to boot. And I remember seeing that, I remember not minding it, But anyway, glad to have it. It's a typical Carpenter flick, you gotta have it. So. And next up, last but not least, this Blu-ray actually arrived earlier today. It's actually the second one, and it's, believe it or not, it's the collector's edition of Pet Sematary 2. And you got a new 4K scan of the original camera negative, a new commentary with the director, and actually you get a new interview with the actor Edward Furlong, who's actually in this film. I was curious about it, figured I'd go ahead and add it to my collection. I probably remember more of the first one because I remember, not minding it. It's not a very pleasant film, but it's a very solid, entertaining film, I would say. And unfortunately, it got that remake last year, which I heard was awful. So I think the original first one's on Blu-ray, but I don't think Scream Factory did a Blu-ray for that one. But yeah, anyway, Slice It, glad to have it, to add to my collection. So. Anywho, I think that's going to do it for me, and if y'all like this video, feel free to comment, like, and share, and let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll catch you guys in the meantime, so I'll see you later. Bye-bye.